fact, I think it'll all be just fine. This is a lot nicer than I originally had in mind. Welcome to Life on the Moose. We're starting today's episode on Red Moose Ranch. We have to process some of that wood for the face of those cabinets and hopefully finish that up today. Hopefully finish up this entire build today. Wouldn't that be phenomenal? I'm not 100% sure if I can finish it up today, but I'll try. And I'll be giving away $1,000 every minute in this video, so don't jump forward. You might miss something. Okay, I'm kidding. I'm not giving any money away today. If I could, I would, and you'd be the first person I'd give it to. I promise. So let me show you what's going on. So in the last episode, you saw me make that cabinet and the door underneath the sink. I was using this wood, which this is ponderosa pine, this is spruce, but they're both exactly the same thickness of about 7/8 plus. So I'm gonna run out of that. So I'm gonna have to resort to using this wood, which is about 1 inch minus. So it is a little bit different. You know, you certainly wouldn't want to make fine furniture out of it, but I'll make do. I don't want to go through the effort of planing it either. So I'll incorporate it one way or another so that it doesn't look bad. You know what? In fact, I think it'll all be just fine. These boards actually squared up the edges the last episode, but I have to sand them. So this 1 inch material, I still have to put an edge on it, run it through the table saw. The last episode of this kitchen build. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. Well, let's straighten some wood and do a little sanding. Yay! Okay, I just finished up with that wood, and guess what? It's snowing. It is October 18th right now. It's about 35 degrees out. It's chilly. A week ago, I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. Not anymore. I had to put some more clothes on. Well, let's get going in this kitchen. This last bank of cabinetry. So first thing we're gonna do, just like we did over here, is just button up these cavities so that critters can't get in underneath these cabinets. Okay, I'm ready to start framing. This is going to be the height of my countertop right here, which corresponds almost exactly to the bottom of that outlet back there. So it's going to work out great. So I'm going to start with this point right here, continue it across all the way around, because this will be my border. There isn't going to be a backsplash back here. So I'm going to start kind of backwards, I guess, with this piece and then build up underneath it. That way I know my height is where exactly where I want it to be. Got this framework almost finished. I have to run back to the barn, rip a few boards, rip a 2x4, rip one of the 5/4 pieces that I'm using for the top. You'll see, by the time this is all finished, you'll understand what I'm up to. Okay, well, let's head back to Red Moose Ranch and get the table saw running, rip some boards. Can you believe this is the last episode of this build? Man, oh man, time flies when you're having fun, that's for sure. What are you going to do when you can't see that every Friday? Or whenever you watch it. So I have the framework of this cabinetry about wrapped up. What I just put in there basically was the door stops, the tops and bottoms that the doors swing against, and what the panels are attached to. We're just going to work our way over from that door. We'll put a door, probably center one under the window area, and then we'll have another door over here, probably somewhat symmetrical. It's all panels and doors for a while. It's a new day. Last day of this outdoor kitchen build. Can you believe it? I'll clean this mess up by the end of this video so you can see what it looks like. All spick and span. They still sell that stuff anymore? Spick and span. My gosh. Throwback to 1972. Uh-oh. I don't want you to think I'm older than 41. So, last thing I really have to do is make a door. Here are the boards for the door. Door's gonna go right down there. And then the cabinet will be wrapped up. And then all I have to do is the countertop. And we'll be out of here. By the way, I wanted to mention, I had someone ask me, what can I do to help? Does it help to rewatch a video? It does help to rewatch a video. Any watch time, anytime you have a video of mine playing on YouTube, that helps me. In fact, if you want to help me, here's an idea. Play an entire playlist. Just run through, for example, the cabin build up there. Run through that whole playlist. Just start it maybe Saturday morning about 9 o'clock and just let it run all day long. You know, you don't even have to be in front of the TV. Just crank it up, listen to the music. You know, while you're baking bread or you're working on your computer, you can just hear the TV in the background, good music, stupid joke once in a while. The moral of the story is, anytime you watch, you're helping me. I appreciate that. Well, let's build one more door. We'll do this pretty quickly. I know you've seen me build a door or two in the last couple of episodes. So we'll do this quickly and get onto the countertop. Hi, Chippy. Hi, Chippy. The cabinets are pretty much wrapped up, except for the countertop. I have about 24 bucks, give or take, in 2x4s for framing on this thing. Other than that, that whole thing costs almost zero. All those hinges that you see are all part of a grab bag surprise box that I bought on an online auction. And it had so many hinges, it probably had 30 or 40 hinges in it of all different sizes, shapes, colors. Nothing wrong with them, all brand new in the packages. And I think I paid, I don't know, $5 for the whole mystery box. So pay attention to that. I'm not going to tell you the website. Then you'll be bidding against me. But pay attention to online stuff like that. You can get odds and ends really inexpensive. Okay, last thing we're going to do is countertop. So here's what we're going to do. For this first section till about here, we are going to put 5/4 cedar decking. They're going to be lined up like this. And then on this side, we're going to have a big piece of tile. Now, in the spirit of me saving money, Karen and I were at this, it was basically a surplus store that went out of business. So it was cheap to begin with. And then when they were going out of business, it got really cheap. This is a piece of porcelain tile from Italy. It is 2 feet by 4 feet, and it was on sale for $1 a square foot. Yes. So this whole thing cost $8. I know, it's crazy. So we're going to put it in this outdoor kitchen. I'm going to do this a little unconventional. I've laid 1,000 tiles in my life, probably more than that, to be honest with you. So I know how to lay tile. This isn't how to lay tile in a house anyway. So here's what I'm going to do. Plywood backing. That's the first thing you wouldn't do if it was your house. You would do some hardy board or something else, concrete board, concrete fiber board. 10 inches. I have a solid 2x4. I measure this. It is laser level, flat. So on top of this goes the plywood. Top of the plywood will go the tile. Instead of a thin set like you would typically put on tile, I'm going to use construction adhesive. It's a heavy duty construction adhesive. It's very similar to some of the over-the-counter stuff you can get for tile, but it'll be just fine. I bet if you come back and ask me in 10 years, no cracks. So hold me to it. I'm sure it'll be just fine. The first thing I have to do is trim up this piece of plywood just a little bit. Are you excited? This is a birch plywood, and this is kind of smooth, too smooth actually. So I'm just going to take my utility knife and just scratch the surface and just put, I don't know, 1,000 lines here just to scratch it up a little bit. Give that adhesive something more to cling on to. So I'm going to spend 3 minutes doing this, and it'll be good to go. Oh, before I attach this, I'm going to dry fit that tile. Okay. Make sure that plywood is not sticking out. And it is not. Look at that. That's gonna look good. All right, let's take this off, cut my trim, then I can fasten my plywood down. Make sure these are going in all the way. So nice and warm. They were in the cabin all night. Okay, I don't want this too thick or it'll throw off my profile, how high I want it to lay. So I want to get this bead like 1/8 of an inch thick, maybe a little bit more, not much. And then I can flatten it out a little bit. Okay, it's stuck. That's good. Check it out. Okay, now let's work on this 5/4 and put cedar from here to here. And after that, we'll put our face on our counter, and that'll be about it. Okay, I cleaned the kitchen. Check it out. We have an outdoor kitchen. Complete. Look at that. Man, can't believe this is over. So what do you think of this countertop? This is all cedar lined. If it ever gets wet, no big deal. Built-in cutting board. Some porcelain tile. What do you think? Today is one of those days that kept getting colder as the day went on, so I didn't have a chance to actually polyurethane that. I'm not sure I'm going to get a chance to this fall. Karen and I are going to have another episode at least where we kind of deck this thing out a little bit. We get a few appliances in here that we have in mind, and we're going to cook a meal here. We'll share it with you. Well, not the food, because that'd be kind of difficult. It'd be cold by the time you got here. So we're thinking maybe Christmas. Maybe Christmas when it's snowing. Come out here and cook something up, start a fire. I think that'd be pretty cool. You never know. But we'll definitely be back and do that. And I will definitely be making a start to finish video, probably a time-lapse video on this whole kitchen build. So as I asked before, I'm curious to know if you have a favorite episode of this build or a favorite part of the kitchen itself. I'd be curious to know. This is a lot nicer than I originally had in mind. It kept evolving and evolving. So that's a good thing. Okay, it's approaching 5 o'clock and it's getting colder. So I'm gonna get out of here. Well, don't forget, just because this build is over doesn't mean this channel's over. I have a lot of stuff to do. We'll get working on that covered entry at the cabin. We'll replace those windows in the bunkhouse. There's all sorts of things to do. So make sure you come back. You take care of yourself. I'll see you soon.